What up, bitches? It's the MisanthropikOne, aka He Who Hungers, and I'm back up in this bitch for another rant. This is gonna be a two-part series, maybe more in the future, but for right now it's two parts. I originally wanted to name this Negroes Rallying Behind the Wrong Shit, but I have some subtitles that I want to put to differentiate the different parts. So I'm gonna call this series Rallying Negroes with quotation marks, and this part is clarifications on Lord Jamar and Scarface comments that I have, something along the lines of that. So anyway, if you're subscribed to me, y'all know that I made a video that was sort of criticizing the comments that Scarface and Lord Jamar made regarding hip-hop and race and all that bullshit. And a lot of you fucking Negroes, came here and were just talking out the sides of your neck, just saying retarded ass shit, calling me all types of shit. I'll get into that later. But let me just clarify some shit, because this is exactly why I made that video called Niggas Need Comprehension Skills. And for those of you subscribed to me, you already know who I was beefing with. I'm not trying to revive that shit, but a lot of you niggas need comprehension skills. Because if you listen to that video, I do agree with the initial statements that Scarface made and the initial statement that Lord Jamar made, the initial beginning part of it. Once it started getting into generalization and all that bullshit, etc., that's where I stopped agreeing with him. And because that leads to black hypocrisy. And I mentioned it in that video, because if you take those statements and you take out the parts where you're referring to whites and you put blacks in there, blacks will be in an uproar. They will be rallying against the comments and blah, 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 blah. So again, to me, it's black hypocrisy. Now, a lot of people were coming on there and arguing fucking semantics. They were coming and saying, well, Scarface said rappers. He didn't, I mean, not Scarface. Lord Jamar said rappers. He didn't say white people. He said white rappers. You know, they pick apart little things and they think they're getting a major victory out of just because they picked apart something very minute in my fucking video. Meanwhile, the core of the video, you motherfuckers missed the whole fucking point. What else did people say on there? Said one guy comes up and says, yeah, you didn't state the whole history of the Ghetto Boys and this and that. Talking about Rick Rubin. Well, he didn't really produce on there. He was a production supervisor, and well, that's not the first album and this and that. People, you motherfuckers, you niggas need comprehension skills. This is exactly my point. This is why I put that fucking video out, because a lot of you will only pick at little bits and pieces and go, well, I owned you, I got you. No, it don't mean shit. You're missing the whole fucking point of what I said. And it's funny, one of the biggest fucking points that I was trying to make with the Lord Jamar statement, especially with the Lord Jamar statement, is what white MC, well, let me not say white, what non-black MC said, well, I created this hip-hop shit. Which non-black MC said that? And none of you could answer that. You want to know why none of you could answer that? Because it doesn't exist. No one like that exists. No one has said any shit like that. That's my point with the Lord Jamar shit. Because I'll just use white for example. No white MC has come out and said, well, hip hop really didn't start in the Bronx. I created it. No white MC said, well, Kool Herc, nah, he's a fraud. I started spinning the wheels of steel. No white MC fucking said that shit. And a lot of you will come on here and just spew your fucking hatred and your garbage. Mind you, I do the same thing, but I don't go as low as, how do I say it? Attacking something that someone can't help. For example, motherfuckers want to come on here and test my blackness. That's what a lot of black people do. A lot of Negroes do this. You guys will come out and say, well, you're a coon, you're a sellout. Why is that? Because I don't fucking go along with what a prominent black person says. Is that it? This is, for example, let me show you how black people are. If you remember, I think this was a few years ago, Stacey Dash went and endorsed Mitt Romney in, I think it was the second election that Barack Obama was involved in. My God, the racial backlash that Stacey Dash had to endure because she decided to endorse Mitt Romney was incredible. Why would she have to endure that? She had her reasonings for wanting to endorse this dude, and that's her business. But people were going, well, you're not black. You can't be black. You're white. Another example that I could use personally is when I was growing up, going to school, I always was into hip hop. I loved rap and all of that shit. But I also liked rock music. I also liked metal and punk and all that shit. So when people would find out that I liked that shit, oh, well, you can't possibly be black. You can't be black. You're white. Even though the fucking forefathers of that type of music were black. But see, you Negroes are so fucking uneducated that you'll come and tell me to do my research, but you don't know the simple fact that black people created rock music. Now, all of this fucking backlash because I won't go with the flow or go with what prominent Negroes say. Now, all the insults that I that I acquired, I guess, for lack of a better word, like coon, sellout, you're an agent, and shit like this, that means that is totally irrelevant. You could equate them to another racial slur, which is a house nigga. Now, I know the real definition of a house nigga is a person that just answers to massa, does everything massa says, and all of that. But essentially, what a house nigga is a person without an independent thought in their fucking head. But let me ask you guys something. You guys gotta ask yourselves, isn't that what you do? Because basically, what these people were saying, what Lord Jamar and Scarface was saying, y'all just ran with it. Y'all didn't have no independent thought. You didn't say, well, let me think about this before I just go and say yes. This is what a lot of Negroes do nowadays. A lot of Negroes do this shit where they will not have independent thought. And this is what our ancestors fought for. A lot of our ancestors died for us to have a freedom of choice and freedom of speech. And it just fucking amazes me that a lot of y'all won't take advantage of that, and you'll call another black man. Y'all are supposed to be pro-black and pro-unity. Y'all come off like this, but yet you'll put another black man down because they don't agree with you. They don't want to be a fucking sheep. I have independent thought. I didn't know that was a fucking crime. Now, a bigger example of this is like niggas like Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson. When you black bastards will pull the race card, and then those motherfuckers will come out and they'll have their stupid ass protests and all this shit, you know, some of which, and I use that word some loosely, might be valid, but most I just don't support all that bullshit. I don't support it because I believe that they're trying to line their own pockets, and this is why. Because they never check the black community when it comes to the fucked up shit that black people do. They don't check the black community. They won't do it. They won't rally for real shit like the black female teen epidemic, them having fucking kids, having 1 million kids, and then wanting the government to take care of them, and our tax dollars going up and taking care of their black asses. They won't address that. They won't address shit like the black literacy rate or black unemployment rate. And if you do dare talk about this shit, you're a sellout. you know? And the reason that I say this shit is because, you know, I do check everybody, but I gotta check myself first. All these problems made me come to realize this is why we don't have any real black leaders, or let me not say real black leaders, we don't have too many black leaders today. No one of a France Fanon caliber or Martin Delaney, no one like that, you know what I mean? You know, because of two things. Motherfuckers will come up and number one, this is sort of a minute point. I mean, it is a big deal, but minute in this video, but because I don't want to get too deep into it, but motherfuckers will come out and they will tell you what you should say. This is what you should say. This is what you should say, which pisses me off. Nigga, you say it. Why the fuck do I have to say what's on your fucking mind? You know, when I started this channel and I garnered this fan base, it was because I was saying what was on my mind, in my heart, coming from my brain. Nobody was pushing me to say anything. Yeah, people were saying, giving me suggestions about, hey, you might like this rap album or this and that, but it's ultimately up to me to make that choice. But this is why we don't have black leaders today, because there's a bunch of Negroes that run around and say, hey, you do this, you do that, you do this, hiding behind motherfuckers, hiding behind each other. Negroes pushing each other. Hey, you say this, you say this. When there's someone who takes a risk and has their own voice, you want to try and infiltrate that person's voice box. No, nigga, you say it. You fucking say it. I'm not gonna do anything that I don't feel is necessary or I don't agree with. I'm just not gonna do it. Again, this is another thing that our ancestors died for me to have that ability. And I acknowledge that. I reserve that right. Number two, like I mentioned before, motherfuckers love to go with the flow of shit. Fucking the sheep mentality. And this is why, again, I can't stand humans in general. But black people love to do this. Like I mentioned the Stacey Dash thing. Everybody has to roll in packs. Yeah. Okay, you know, this is what makes you black. This is why I'm against MTV, BET, and the radio and shit like that, because you'll let people dictate to you what is in, what is cool. If dare you deviate from that, you're not black. You're not black. No, you're white. You're this. You're not. You can't possibly be black, which is a black problem that black people love to spread, and it kills me. You know, y'all just love being the fucking sheep, and that's something that needs to be put to rest. It's fucking stupid. This is why years back I made that video about Barack Obama, and I even said it in the video, vote for him for the right reasons, not because the motherfuckers half black. But of course, no one listens to that, motherfuckers. You can go look up the ignorance that was going on during that time when motherfuckers said black people were getting on TV saying the most ignorant fucking shit. Well, I'm not paying my mortgage because Obama's, I'm voting for Obama, or Obama's in. And these were black people saying this. This is the fucking ignorance that I'm fucking talking about. Y'all motherfuckers do not have an independent thought in your brain. You do have ignorant thoughts. Maybe I was right about that, but you do not have an independent thought in your fucking heads. Now, another thing that falls under the whole semantics category was the fact that certain motherfuckers were saying, oh, you're just defending white people. You're a defender of whites. One person said, when a white person can't defend himself, a nigger comes to his defense. Another guy says, yeah, this is sad, you know, black people are always putting on the cape to save white people. Well, this is what I gotta say to you so-called pro-black motherfuckers, you pseudo-pro-black motherfuckers. If you bothered to use that intellect that you claim you have and looked at my channel, you would see I go in on white people just as much as I'm going in on you now. There's multiple videos where I check white people for the dumb shit that they do. I like to think of myself as an equal opportunity offender. But I will not go out and say, well, white people are doing stupid shit and so is doing stupid shit without checking myself first. So again, you're wrong about that, because there's tons of videos where I go in on them. Another example, someone goes, yeah, this is the guy that was riding M&M socks, so you can't be that surprised. And then when I told them, well, did you look at my Encore and Relapse videos? What I had to say about Relapse especially? Oh, well, yeah, I guess you're right. See, this goes back to what I'm saying about you Negroes. You Negroes act so intelligent, but you're really uneducated. It's all faux. It's false. You put up like OC says, your whole aura is plexiglass. I see right through you. There's a dude named John Q. Rogan. I forget the name of his book. I was looking up some shit and I stumbled across this, and he talks about the hypocrisy of you Negroes, you pro-black Negroes or pseudo-pro-black Negroes that will preach, well, self-pride and love and elevation and unity, but at the same time you'll preach hate. These are the types of people that I'm dealing with. I'm talking to you out there. If you're getting offended, I'm talking to your black ass. You know who I'm talking to. And someone even went as far as to say, yeah, he's only doing this because he wants to impress his white friends and suck up to his white girlfriend. Well, number one, I don't have a white girlfriend. I'm single. Number two, yeah, I have white friends. I have black friends. I have Spanish friends. I have Asian friends. I have Australian friends. So again, I really don't see the relevance in that. This is semantics. People will not argue the logic. People can't do it. This is what black people do. When you say something that's outside their thought processes, they'll sit there and go, well, yeah, you're a sellout. That's what you are. Or they'll just talk about retarded shit. They'll just say, oh, you're wearing a fitted hat. You're wearing an X-Men shirt, which, you know, this happens all the time on my videos. They won't, because they have nothing else to say. This is what I mean, that you niggas rally behind the wrong fucking shit. You won't read. You will not do research, yet you'll come to me and tell me the same shit. Well, do your research. Do your research when you're arguing semantics in the first fucking place. Then you wonder why the black literacy rate is half that of non-blacks. But you won't rally for that. You won't rally for that. You don't hear niggas talking about that. You only hear Negroes complaining about bullshit. Shit like this, for example. That's what motherfuckers are fucking complaining about, and it drives me fucking insane. Y'all won't do nothing to better yourselves, better your community, and further your intellect. And when niggas want to further themselves, when black people want to either leave the hood, when they want to educate themselves, or they're CEOs of corporations and all this shit, they're sellouts. This is what black people say. It's a slave fucking mentality. You want no better for yourselves. And this is my problem with a lot of Negroes. And again, to summarize this shit up, a lot of you Negroes like to rally behind stupid fucking causes. Rally behind dumb shit. Like I said, you will rally about this. You will rally behind the burial of the fucking N-word. You're gonna rally about motherfuckers dating outside their race. Hell, even years ago, black people were rallying because Popeyes ran out of fried chicken. If you don't believe me, look it up. Perpetuating negative stereotypes themselves, but yet get mad when Tyler Perry or someone makes a movie basically mirroring what you Negroes do. And then you get mad and say, well, he's perpetuating negative stereotypes. Well, if that's what he sees, you can't fucking get mad. You can't get mad at all. But what you won't rally for, you will not rally to boost the black literacy rate. You won't rally against World Star Hip Hop, which perpetuates negative stereotypes every day. This is real life. What was that stupid bitch that punched that girl out? Sharkeisha. All y'all went. She got 30,000 fucking followers on Twitter that loved what she did. Guarantee most of them were Negroes that went and said, oh yeah, Negroes and females and simp ass niggas that were saying, oh yeah, you did the right thing. Yeah, bigging her up. This is what you rallied for. But you won't rally against these hypocritical black churches in the hood. You're not gonna rally against that. You're not gonna rally about putting up prominent black businesses in your hood. You will not rally against that. I mean, you won't rally against black on black crime. Especially in Chicago and LA, you won't do it. But you'll rally against this. You'll rally against Macklemore, which is my part 2 to this series, by the way. That's what you'll rally against. Shit that doesn't mean shit. But you'll rally against that. But anyway, I think my point's proven. This is to be continued. Look out for part 2. You Negroes that are gonna come here and get offended, you got your feelings hurt, suck a dick. I don't give a fuck. You know I'm speaking the truth. That's why you're gonna come here and call me a sellout and an Uncle Tom, even though that's not really an insult, because if you read Uncle Tom, shout out to Tommy Sotomayor and Dave Carroll for putting this knowledge into my head, you will know that's not an insult. But you're gonna come here calling me all type of agents and shit. Meanwhile, you pseudo-blacks have never set foot in Africa. I've been to Africa 3 times. You niggas have never set foot in Africa. You don't give a fuck about the real black man's plight. So fuck you, okay? And everybody else, y'all know the deal. Leave your love, leave your hate. Most of all, subscribe. Stay tuned for part 2, all right? Peace, bitches.